This is Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. You're watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
Right, I hope you're all having a great day. It's Friday, everyone. Excellent stuff, right? Although the weather is pretty gash here in the northeast. Hope it's a bit better wherever you are. So, Anthony Joshua, following like what Eddie Hearn has been saying recently, these guys are finally saying the same things that I've been saying for how long now, and many of you guys, which is that, first of all, Deontay Wilder is a loss waiting to happen. So the longer he leaves it fighting AJ, the less chance we're ever going to see that fight for Wilder. Listen, we'll probably still see Undisputed. It just won't be Wilder. That's in the other corner. In addition to that, him fighting Ruiz in a rematch, what have I been saying to you guys for the last couple of days? How would his fans and the boxing fans in general react if Anthony Joshua said, no, you know what, Wilder, I'm not going to take Undisputed. I don't care how much that you really want it. I don't care how much money that you're going to offer me. I want to go rematch Povetkin. How will people react to that? And Wilder fans don't understand why people are reacting the way they are with Ruiz rematch. It's pointless. There's no need for it whatsoever. But of course, his fans will keep on giving him a pass. Why? Because they're very female. Now, again, apologies, females. Now, also, it's not about Joshua versus Wilder. It never was. Again, I've been saying this for quite some time now, that you can put that green and gold WBC heavyweight title belt around the waist of anyone else, and it's still a mega fight when you're standing him in the other corner to Anthony Joshua. So Wilder versus Joshua for Undisputed, yes, it's a mega fight. But you take that belt off Wilder, put it around the waist of Tyson Fury or Dillian White, and then one of those guys fight Anthony Joshua for Undisputed. Is it a much bigger fight than Deontay Wilder? Of course it is. Wilder doesn't bring any kind of value to this event outside of the belt. That's all he does. He brings a belt, and it's only one belt out of 4 needed. Joshua already has 3. Wilder has the 1. And the WBC is no more important than any one of the other ones when it comes to Undisputed. It just isn't. So anyway, Anthony Joshua has finally said the exact same things that we've been saying. So anyway, we'll get straight into Anthony Joshua's statement. It's no longer about Joshua and Wilder. Now it's about me and the titles. Wilder may not be champion for much longer. He's not going to hold on to that title forever. Not with the way that he keeps coming close to losing fights and having to dig himself out with that big punch. What would people say if I took a rematch with Povetkin the way he's fighting Ortiz again? If I do something like that with Dillian White, I don't want to hear any complaints. I've been working towards the Undisputed for 2 years, and I'm having to take risks along the way too. Also, Deontay Wilder is also. So why wouldn't he take the biggest risk for the most massive reward? But me, I've got big fights out there against the likes of Fury, Usyk, Hunter, and then there's the young heavyweights coming up like Joe Joyce. But for the moment, I have to focus on Andy Ruiz Jr. to make sure I don't make a mistake before fighting whoever it is I need to beat to become undisputed. Anthony Joshua's statement. So, can anybody disagree with anything that he said? Wildettes, can you disagree with anything that Anthony Joshua said in that statement? Of course you can't. Well, I can kind of disagree with one point here. He says young heavyweights coming up like Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce is not a young heavyweight. He isn't. He's older than Joshua, but anyway, he's still a prospect as far as the program goes. Is Hunter a big fight? I don't think so. I don't. Usyk, yeah, certainly. Fury, definitely. He did leave Dillian White off that list, but of course he did say, if I was to fight Dillian White again, I don't want to hear it no more. What he's saying is, when Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder turned down 40% to fight at Wembley Stadium against Anthony Joshua, he then turned his attention to Dillian White. What was it that most of the Wilder fans were saying? Why do we need to see that fight again? We've already seen that fight. Dillian White got stopped by Anthony Joshua. Why do we need to see that fight again? Even though that was 3.5 years ago, and Dillian White has improved tenfold, where people like me would pick White to defeat Wilder. So there's a difference in that one, but yet they will contradict themselves and go, yay, big up Wilder for having a rematch with Ruiz Ortiz, a guy who has looked terrible in his last couple of fights. A fight where Wilder defeated him only 1 year ago, just over a year ago. So, listen, you can't be two-faced about it. Now, as far as Wilder going to lose the title soon, as I said before, I've said it so many times now, Wilder is a loss waiting to happen. We all know he is fairly chinny. If you catch him, he goes Bambi-legged. We've seen him retreat. We've seen Luis Ortiz pretty much stop him on his feet. And had the referee stopped that fight, I don't think too many people would have complained, and Wilder was in no condition to complain either. Listen, it is what it is. He got the job done in the end. But Wilder is a loss waiting to happen. Against Tyson Fury, he got a gifted draw. Wilder is a paper champion. I want to be disrespectful, but he is. Tyson Fury should be the WBC heavyweight champion of the world. He went to America. A Tyson Fury, what, 50, 60%? Let's be generous and say 70% Tyson Fury of what he once was, and still did that to Wilder. That shows the flaws in him. Yes, he's got a big right hand. Yes, he starched out Dominic Breazeale. Congratulations. Did he do anything that I didn't predict before the fight? No, of course he didn't. Dominic Breazeale always starts slow. Every single time. His hand speed is slow. His foot speed is slow. He's got a big punch, but he's too slow. Wilder was too fast. We knew this. So again, he's done nothing that people haven't expected. Listen, excellent knockout. But let's be real. People talk about knockout as if it's the knockout of the century. Dominic Breazeale went down. He got to his feet. He wasn't laid there concussed. Just remember that point, all right? But anyway, regardless. So he is a loss waiting to happen. It's only a matter of time before it happens. He's been dancing with death, shall we say, as far as winning or losing a fight. Luis Ortiz, fight could have been stopped. Tyson Fury, he should have lost that one. We've seen him rocked by Eric Molina. We've seen him get beat the living hell up by Arthur Spilka before that spectacular knockout. That was one of my favourite knockouts, to be honest. But Josh was absolutely correct. But we could say, well, Joshua, you may lose also, because Joshua hasn't looked spectacular in his last couple of fights. Against Alexander Povetkin, literally, definitely the first 2-3 rounds, he looked absolutely awful. Awful against Povetkin. Don't get me wrong, Povetkin is very, very old school. He's younger than a Luis Ortiz, just to put that on the record. Not the fastest guy in the world, but he's quite heavy-handed in Povetkin. But it's short guys. Joshua don't like fighting short guys, which is why people are a little worried about Andy Ruiz Jr. People look at Andy Ruiz Jr. and go, what the hell? What? Listen, man, you're a fat kid. What are you going to do? Look at the size difference. It's not about that at all. Joshua don't like shorter guys. Anything can happen when Joshua fights a short guy. Whenever Joshua fights a short guy, my heart is in my mouth because I know he just don't like it. He prefers the big guys. Look at what he done to Dominic Breazeale. Peppered him for the entire fight. He played with him. Look at what he done to Charles Martin. Just starched him in 2 rounds to become new champion on only 16 fights. Vladimir Klitschko, he put down Klitschko on a couple of occasions. Yeah, he got put down himself, but he finds the range so much easier. These little guys, and especially Andy Ruiz Jr., he's much faster than Povetkin. And he's brave as... listen, I wouldn't be surprised if anything happened in this fight, to be real. The way that Andy Ruiz fights, if you haven't seen him fight Parker, go watch it and you'll know exactly what it is I'm talking about. His hand speed and his coming forward and his bravery is absolutely insane. I've never seen him wobbled. I've never seen him dropped or anything like that. That's not to say that this isn't going to happen. Hey, listen, maybe Joshua's going to start him in the first round. Don't know. Maybe he's going to go the distance. We don't know. For me, I think it'd probably be mid to late rounds or it'll go on points. That's my honest prediction on this one. But listen, you never know what's going to happen. But I do feel that Joshua is going to struggle in parts. But regardless of all that, this is about Wilder and his constant ducking. He's going to lose one day. I've said it time and time again. He is a loss waiting to happen. That means Wilder's going to miss out on this huge payday. So him prolonging it means that he's going to get worse and worse and worse. He's already on the slide. We've seen it. Joshua is getting better and better and better. So if Wilder's ever going to beat Joshua, it should have been 2 or 3 fights ago when he first had the opportunity. But Wilder wants to keep on stalling time and having rematches against people that nobody wants to see. As I said before, as Joshua just said there, how would you feel if Joshua took on Povetkin in a rematch? What would your reaction be? So why are you giving Wilder a pass? So anyway, big up to Joshua. He's absolutely correct. It shouldn't be about him versus Wilder. It should be about him trying to become undisputed. Whoever's got that belt is the target, not Wilder. Wilder brings very little. Well, he brings no more value than any other fighter if they had that WBC title. Anyway, it is what it is. Article in the description box. Give it a read for yourself. Hope you have a great day. Click the thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.